Hi, welcome to another installment of Two Weirdos Make the Award. As always, I'm the stock of Yes. And we are here in 5 Points South in Birmingham, Alabama at Brennan's Pub. And we would like to say thank you to Brennan's Pub for allowing us to record today.
Thank you.
Yeah. We're drinking water right now. Now, this may sound strange because we're in a pub, but October is upon us and Halloween is right around the corner.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. And with Halloween comes horror movies. You gotta watch horror movies. I mean, I watch them like pretty much every other day because I'm a weirdo. And so is Matt. It's the name of our show, among many other reasons. Well, we're gonna start, with some classic horror movie stuff, and then we're gonna kind of launch into, the more recent stuff, classic 80s stuff, Elm Street, Friday the 13th. What?
Did Dracula come before Frankenstein?
I want to say yes, but I'm not sure.
Wait, because I know Dracula came in 1993.
True. Well, I want to see Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff, Dracula and Frankenstein, respectively, were around the same time. But I want to say they were in a few years of each other.
I think Dracula is before Frankenstein. And I do know this. Bela Lugosi was up for the role of Frankenstein, but he turned it down because it was a non-speaking role.
Oh yeah. If you watch, this isn't necessarily horror, but if you watch the movie Edward, Great Johnny Depp, you will see Bela Lugosi basically got typecast and then became an opium.
No offense to Johnny Depp. I'm blanking. Not Matt is what's in my head right now. It is. I hate when people do this on camera and on podcasts.
Alright, well, you actually had an interesting, we were going over our notes, we come up with little notes just to get an idea of what we're going to talk about. We like to keep it crazy and improvise. You had an interesting thought about Frankenstein, about the technology in the book and in the movie.
Frankenstein's not scary anymore because of donors.
Not that there's anything wrong with donors, but please hear Matt out.
No, there's nothing wrong with if you're gonna donate, please, say yes to organ donation. But if in 1800, you're walking around digging up corpses, and the thought of that's scary by that standard.
A little creepy, yeah.
Yeah. But now, so there's a dead body in the morgue of the hospital. It's getting cut out, and they graft it on to a human being to keep them alive, which is Frankenstein all over the place.
Also, I think it was the kind of a dangers of technology because when it was written, it was.
If you've seen
Make a monster out of science and technology.
Split.
Oh yeah. Oh, I haven't seen it, but it looks interesting.
That was good. The monster really in that movie. Not entirely sure if it wasn't the dude. The male scientist, because it's like a female-male couple together, and they make a bug hybrid human, and eventually it gets to a certain age and then wants to mate, and guess who's close to her? The dude who was kind of daddy a few minutes ago in that movie. And then it got creepy.
Yes, it did. Now let's get back to the classics, and then we can jump into the 70s and the 80s. You also had things like The Mummy and The Wolfman and The Invisible Man and The Fly. And I actually used to read the book versions of those when I was in grade school. And I don't mean 5th grade, I mean 2nd grade. You could check them out at the library, and I would bring them home and I would read them. And my parents would Mom would come home from work, what are you reading, honey? I'm reading The Wolfman, Mommy. She's like, all right, honey, how was school? Do your homework. I'm like, yes, ma'am. Just sitting there reading it.
I read the novelization of Ninja Turtles 3.
Yes.
Not kidding.
And then on top of that, I guess my parents were okay with stuff like that because they had a copy of The Shining. The Shining, excuse me. Sorry, Stephen King.
You got the Shining boy. Sorry, Matt Groening. Please don't sue us.
He's like, please don't sue us. We have lots of money. We have nothing. We have day jobs. We're just trying to film something for ourselves. So, not much. Get right back to you, man. We're recording something. Anyway, sorry, I was just saying hello to my buddy Jordan. What's up, Jordan? So, that all being said, what was I saying?
The Shining.
The Shining.
And you're reading The Shining.
Yeah, it's like they had a copy. I had a copy like of a grade school level of The Wolfman, and my parents had The Shining, The Shining, whatnot, on a bookshelf in the den, within reach of me. And I actually read the book, several years later when I was older. Much like Joey on Friends, I had to put it in the freezer a couple times because I got scared.
You know what the Wolfman is?
What?
It's alcoholism.
Yes.
Yeah. And the mummy is just here because they had recently opened King Tut's tomb.
All right, so should we go into the 70s now and talk about the? Well, no, actually, we should probably talk about Psycho.
Well, yeah. Okay, the other genre because that's Universal Monsters, and then Black Panther is also the first. Did you ever see that one?
I did. Vincent Price. May he rest in peace.
Was that Black?
Yeah. Well, he was like the director of it. That was like one of his breakdowns.
I do remember though it had the first jump scare, which was because she's walking down the street, and then there's supposed to be like a giant bat or something coming at her, and the bus comes by and jump scare. It was the first one.
Yes, that's right. And that became kind of a standard in horror movies after.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw it in all the good ones in the 70s and 80s.
Which brings us to Psycho.
Yes. Now, I would like to add something to what you said. Alfred Hitchcock, one of his most famous quotes. And if you've never seen any of Hitchcock's films, go see them, watch them on Netflix. I'm sure they're available. Psycho, Frenzy, Rope, Rear Window. I mean, it's so good. Based off some theories of Nietzsche. Those of you out there listening, that actually know me in real life.
I don't recommend North by Northwest.
Yeah, it's a little.
It was a bit slow for me.
It was.
Although I did like the iconic scene where he's running and
Yes. But I was going to say, some of what's going on in the movie Rope is based off the theories of Friedrich Nietzsche. And I was going to say, those of you who know me out there in the real world know that I have a degree in philosophy and with a specialty in German philosophy, 19th century German philosophy, which is, Friedrich Nietzsche. But Psycho, I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. Psycho. A lot of people, and I think you're saying this, a lot of people consider it to be the first slasher film, which I get, but I don't totally agree. Now, Psycho is my favorite movie of all time. And I just love it for so many reasons. And when most people out there, if they've never seen it, know what it's about, but it's still worth seeing. The original,
I like it because it's just really good.
Yes. And it was shot in black and white at the time when people were doing color. Hitchcock decided to do it black and white because he thought it'd be too horrific or too volatile, whatever you want to call it. Insert adjective here.
The blood is down the
Yes. And you know what?
Oh,
go ahead.
The shower scene where he opens the curtain, he's painted black.
That's actually not Anthony Burton. He was finishing up the shoot Broadway. It was actually somebody else that was dressed like the mother.
Fun fact about Psycho is it is based on Alfred Hitchcock's abuse to Tippi Hedren.
Well, and it's also based on a book by...
No, I'm kidding. That's not exact. No, it's based off of Ed Gein.
We've talked about this. Don't lie. Just came in the corner.
Oh, yeah, because everything you see on the internet is true.
Now, here's what's interesting about Psycho. And I told Matt this the other day, is that, Hitchcock was concerned, the Motion Picture Association was going to be concerned with the shower scene, because there's no real nudity in it, but the way the camera angles are cut and shot, it seems like there are, but really the biggest problem they had was that it was the first movie where you saw somebody flush a toilet. Now, if you've seen the movie, Marion Crane, the woman that gets to go in the shower a few minutes later in the film, she just tears up a piece of paper after writing some numbers on it because she's stolen some money from her boss, and she tears it up and pushes it in the toilet and flushes the toilet. And that was it. It wasn't like somebody was sitting there, off in a squat or something. But the MPA had a bigger problem with that.
You know how to silence the toilet, Clarice?
Yes. But they had a bigger problem with that than the shower scene, which Hitchcock just found amusing and aggravating. So that's all I really have to say about it. That's all I have to say.
I got stuff to say about Psycho.
Okay, great.
It's based off a book called Psycho.
Yes.
About Ed Gein.
Yes.
And Ed Gein, he killed 3 women, essentially, just actual 3.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Did a lot of night digging in graveyards.
Now that's actually good, and I don't want to interrupt you finish your thought, but that's actually a good lead into the 70s. This is Psycho.
Because you have Norman Bates, Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, and third most is Leatherface.
Yes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So see, that's what I was going to say is Robert Bloch got the idea for Psycho based loosely on Ed Gein. And Ed Gein also influenced the movies Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
You can't do anything manly or strong.
No, you can't. You really can't. Now, can we? It's okay. He'll be done in a minute. So I guess unless there's anything else you want to say about Psycho, do you want to launch into the 70s, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Black Christmas, which actually in my mind is the original slasher film.
It beat Halloween by 3 years. 77, 74. No, it came out 77.
It did?
Yep. Halloween came out in 77.
My whole world has just been destroyed because Halloween has always been my favorite movie. It came out the year I was born.
You know what the thing about a lot of the slasher films that I always find
You're right, you can't do anything manly with it.
crazy? I love the neighborhoods in horror movies. Like Halloween, great neighborhood.
Yeah.
The Exorcist, that like New England, Maine area, I freaking love that neighborhood. The atmosphere that they put around the neighborhood in Poltergeist. The fact that like Poltergeist starts off like a Spielberg family film, it's like E.T. Only instead of E.T., it's a beast coming out of the closet.
Yes. Well, no, see, that you actually bring up an interesting point that I wanted. I'm just going to jump ahead a little bit. You're right. That, like, Haddonfield, Illinois, it's a nice community. Nice suburban community. Nightmare on Elm Street, which came out in 1984. Nice, pleasant suburbia, USA. Yes. Is that, behind this pleasant
thing happening in a nice neighborhood.
Behind this pleasant backdrop, evil lurks. But now here's my thing though. Friday the 13th, the original Friday the 13th that came out in 1980. I know they overdid it. The first 4 were great because it was one continuous story. After that, it got ridiculous. But the first Friday the 13th, here's the thing. Okay, you get a job as a camp counselor because this guy named Steve Christie is reopening this campground, and you shouldn't reopen it. Yes.
This place is cursed. Cursed. You're gonna die.
But here's the thing. This is what I was going to say. The very first scene in the movie, well, not the very first scene, but after the opening credits, and then you see those 2 counselors get murdered. You don't see who did it, which is also, I love that. Because one of the great things about the first Friday the 13th is you never see them who's killing everybody, you just see things from their point of view.
What POV?
Yes. is that like the first girl that you see get killed in the present time.
Was it the girl who was trying to hitchhike
Yeah.
on the way? And they're like,
Yeah, she stops. Yeah, she stops in like a cafe, restaurant, gas station kind of deal, and she goes, "Can can you tell me how to get
really
to?"
hitchhiking.
Yeah, and she's like, "Can you
You
tell me?"
can't catch a ride.
No, you can't. And she's like, "Can you
You're
tell?"
either the murderer or the person that caused the murderer.
Yeah, exactly. And she walks in and goes, "Can anybody tell me how to get to Camp Crystal Lake?" And this lady reading a paper just goes, "Oh, Camp Blood, they're opening that place again." If that had been me, I would have been like, "Screw Camp Crystal Lake. Where's the nearest bus station?"
That brings a point I have.
Okay, go ahead.
Jonathan has got to go to Dracula's castle to get the paper signed to get Carfax Abbey sold to Count Dracula.
Yes.
If it was 2018, he would have never left England because people listen to Yelp.
Yes.
It was 1800s, so he didn't listen to it when Renfield came back insane. Didn't listen. Went. When he went to the town when he finally got to Transylvania, and every single person and all the gypsies said, "Don't go there. You won't come out alive." Didn't listen. And also when Dracula offered him food and he cut his finger with a butter knife, and the dude first goes, "Hey, instead of a Band-Aid, here's a crazy idea. Why don't you just suck your thumb? You're a stranger. Let me suck the blood off your
Nothing
thumb."
weird about that.
Yeah.
Normal.
No, I think maybe I should get the hotel.
You know, I think that was a Victorian custom at the time. It was like your dinner guests cut their finger.
You suck it.
You suck their thumb. I mean, it's just considered polite. But I do. If it's okay with you, I do want to take a real quick break for one reason. Well, I need to order a drink, but I also want to say hello to somebody, introduce, you know, the.
Wait, I'm going to do this one thing.
Okay. Not gonna hit me.
Not tonight, dear. I have a headache.
Very welcome.
Same thing with Camp Crystal Lake.
Yes.
If it was like on Facebook, hey, don't go to this creepy camp, even if they are reopening it. Here's a link to all the people who got murdered there. No one would go.
Yeah. Now here's my other thing too, along with the Camp Blood thing, is that before we take a real quick break, also with the Camp Blood thing is you're in this once again. You're in this camp, and you know that there's been a couple of murders, and you're there by yourselves, and it's dark and it's raining, and people start disappearing. I mean, I guess people in horror movies don't watch horror movies because, it'd be like, oh, and Kevin Bacon, by the way, was in the first Friday the 13th. You know, a little fun fact. It was right after he had done Animal House, great movie, comedy, not horror, but great movie. But it's like people start disappearing.
Still get hit in both movies.
Yeah. It's like people. Yeah, I know, right? People start disappearing, and you don't think to yourself that there's anything wrong. It's like, oh, Steve and Marcy are just they're off,
That's how you tell people in horror movies are self-absorbed.
Yeah. I mean, I think the best way I ever heard it put was by Eddie Murphy when he was talking about how there's a difference in this sense, and this is true. You watch horror movies about a haunted house and people moving into a haunted house. There's a difference between maybe the way white people and black people approach those situations. White people are like, oh, honey, look at this great house we got. It's beautiful. It's got 4 bedrooms and it's on the lake and it's a nice neighborhood and you're raising the kids and they can ride their bikes. And it's great. Oh, the walls are dripping blood and I'm hearing voices and really all these weird things are going on. But you know what? I think it's okay. As opposed to white people who would be like, yeah, honey, this great house and a nice neighborhood. We can raise our kids and everything will be great. Well, it's too bad we can't stay. And thank you, Eddie Murphy, because you were correct.
The walls dripping blood would be a deal breaker for multiple reasons.
Yes, and I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. Sorry, I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. I'm not saying that white people are one way or black people are another. I'm saying really most logical people, regardless of their skin color or what name they give to God, would feel the same way, and I guess that's the suspension of disbelief in horror movies. Is these weird, terrible things happen, and people start disappearing, or walls are dripping blood, or this or that's happening, and you don't think anything's wrong with it.
You trick the iron in the pipes.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It's like you don't think anything about it because it's a horror movie, but in real life, none of us would put up with that. I mean, in what was it? the Amityville horror, speaking of Walter. But that family eventually left, but it was after a couple of months of enduring crazy stuff, and I'm sorry too. If I found out that I bought a house with my wife and family, and there had been like a mass murder there, I would have been calling the real estate agent, going, you know what? I think you need to give me some of my money back at least, because I don't think you told me this when we were closing this deal. I mean, you're like, look at this beautiful home. It's isn't it great with the lake and the docks and nice neighborhood for your kids to run around in. It's a beautiful Victorian house. And look at this, there's a real wood floor.
Hey,
you didn't mention anything about the mass murder.
Carol? Yeah, I know it's a nice neighborhood, and you're talking about going outside in the lake and playing outside. And you're mentioning a lot of outside activity. Why haven't you said anything good going on in the house?
Exactly.
Because nothing good happens in the house.
No. And once again, I want to be clear. It's not a white or a black thing. Some people, a lot of people, would make the decision to leave that house immediately. But that's, once again, horror movies. It's a suspension of disbelief. It's like you watch it and go, what? Why are these? I mean, we all do it. We watch horror movies and go, why aren't you running? Run. Quit looking back. He's still behind you. He's got a knife. He's got a machete. Run. Get in the car. Drive away. Drive far away.
I would have liked to see in the movie the one Blast from the Past.
Oh yeah, that was a good movie. I like
that. I want that set up in the zombie apocalypse.
Nice call. We should write that. We're gonna make a movie. We just had a movie idea.
Because I have
it's gonna
a
come out in a
theory.
couple years. And remember this moment, audience.
Here's the thing about like the zombie apocalypse that just I can't get around. They're walking around, bodies are rotting, right? Mm-hmm. You kill the brain, you kill the ghoul, the body's rotting. Can't you just wait it out for the brain to rot? And then it drops dead?
I love Zombie Man when he's kind of going through his whole do's and don'ts in a zombie apocalypse. Like, always do a headshot. Because if you don't do a headshot, they might have a chance to get up and grab you.
Yeah.
But take a break real quick because I want to introduce you to our lovely bartender, Michelle. And she's a big horror movie fan because I come in here sometimes and I talk to her, and I would like to get her to weigh in. If I can find her, I'm not sure where she is. How are you, man?
I mean, do you want to cut it off? Or do you...
No, we can keep it running.
You got it? Okay. Oh, here. Switch this.
Okay. Hey, Michelle. Could I get another drink, please? Okay. And would you like to say hello to our viewing audience out there?
Hey guys!
This is Michelle, best bartender in Birmingham and the prettiest.
Well, thank you. I do what I can.
We want to say thank you. We thanked Brennan's Pub when we started. We like to say thank you for letting us do this.
Oh, you guys are so welcome.
So we're talking about horror movies. What's your favorite horror movie of all time?
That is a really tough one.
Okay.
I will have to say I love American Psycho.
Oh, good call.
One of my favorites.
Good call. We forgot about American Psycho. What's wrong? What's wrong with us?
When yuppies attack.
Very true.
I'm
very
coming
true.
back around.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing about American Psycho is, did he do it?
Oh yeah. Well, apparently, according to the movie, I mean, obviously in the movie, there's sort of a gray area, but in the book he actually did. I heard the book was very hard to read because there's entire chapters where he's going on his narcissistic rants about Huey Lewis or this or that, which are done much better by Christian Bale.
I like to say
movie.
that it's hard to read, not because it's like horrible or anything. It's just because I can't read another sentence about Huey Lewis in the news.
I know, right? It's like I remember the first time after I saw that movie when it came out on DVD, which I guess was around 2001, and I watched it with my roommate Adam at the time, and like after that, like I think I was this is before satellite radio, mind you, right before satellite radio, I think. And by the way, if we get any information incorrect, feel free to message us on our Facebook page, but please be polite and don't use words that you don't know. Now, sorry. Is like I was driving around in my car running errands, and I heard like "Hip to Be Square" come on the radio, and I had to pull over because it's like all I could think about was that scene in American Psycho. I was like sitting there shaking. I actually had somebody walk by, like tap on the window, going, "Are you okay?" And I'm like,
I think there's a Weird Al version of it.
Yeah, with him and Huey Lewis.
Yeah, Huey Lewis did it.
Yeah, that's a great scene. It's like, hey,
and
Paul.
Jared Leto. Jared Leto.
Here we go.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're very welcome.
Go ahead and say goodbye to our audience.
Bye, guys.
Okay. Best old fashioned in town. Best bartender in town. Best bar in town. Cheers.
Dixie's Midnight Runners.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually it's not really a horror film, but the concept is scary. Midnight Run. Because, you don't want to get slapped in a foreign prison for running hashish. Although it does have the funny scene. Oh, Billy!
All right. Well, I think did we forget anything we wanted to talk about? Because as usual, we have an idea of what we want to talk about. We kind of go off the rails a little bit because we're two weirdos.
Talk about the Italian horror? Dario Argento?
Maybe next time.
The remaking of Suspiria.
Really?
Yeah, it's not going to be a full-on remake like Psycho.
Okay.
One was.
That was a terrible remake. I like Vince Vaughn. I like Anne Heche. I like William H. Macy. That was a terrible movie.
Hold on.
If you disagree with it, you're wrong.
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I kind of blacked out for a minute. What happened?
Wait a minute. How can it be terrible remake if it was shot for shot? The only thing that makes it different is, his corpse body in the basement was better made. It wasn't made out of like paper mache and macrame.
My friend, I want to say this.
And also the overtly sound of him whacking it, looking through the thing was
Yes.
a bit much.
But okay, look, here's what I want to say.
And in color.
True, okay. That's fair, but
Essentially, why do it?
that's my point. I'm going to make an analogy and a connection. Well, not an analogy, it's not a bad choice of words, but I'm going to make a connection. You do not remake Psycho or any Hitchcock movie for the same reason you don't remake Wrath of Khan, Star Trek Into Darkness. You don't remake Wrath of Khan, you don't remake a Hitchcock movie because you don't mess with greatness. And it's just wrong.
It's just
wrong. I'm sorry, it's wrong.
No, you hit a button. You hit a button. No, you hit a button.
Go ahead.
Star Trek Into Darkness would have been 1,000 times better if they just cut Khan out of the picture. There is a subplot in that movie where there is a sabotage where someone's trying to get power. Her dad is trying to get power.
Yeah.
And there's a whole really good.
And it's Peter Weller. Peter Weller, I mean, RoboCop, awesome, Peter Weller, but Peter Weller does creepy very well.
Why'd you remake RoboCop and then also make it PG-13?
Okay, I think that's a good message that that I think we need to mention to our audience out there that they need to share with the world. Hollywood, come up with some original ideas.
Hold on.
Come up with quit remaking good stuff and ruining it, and come up with original ideas. I've got original ideas. You can email me. I'll give you my email address.
Wait, no, Hollywood has been remaking movies forever.
Yes.
Maltese Falcon?
Yes.
With Humphrey Bogart? Remake.
Yeah.
They did it in the 30s. Here's the thing though. They did it badly in the 30s, and then they made it good in the 40s.
Yes.
So
that's fair.
I'm a big fan of Roger Corman.
Yes.
Now, The Brain That Wouldn't Die, The Wasp Women.
Yes.
You name it. But which probably coming up next, I guess that whole rant about sci-fi movies and remakes and stuff like that.
Yes. So, we'll see you guys shortly. We're going to take a little break.
Yep, coming up next.
Yes. Sci-fi. In a world where they could do anything, they chose to do it all.